Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Fox and rulings and the Murdochs and then some other stuff that relates to Fox but doesn't necessarily relate to the overall thing, at least at this point. That may change in the future. So, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, we've been talking a lot about the case that Fox is involved with and how it's moving forward, and how in the early stages before it goes to trial, which I think is supposed to happen later this month, Fox isn't doing well. They're not racking up a lot of wins in the early proceedings here. Now, the more recent ruling is that basically the Murdochs may end up in the witness box. They may end up there talking. Judge indicated that if the subpoena went out, well, it wouldn't be quashed. So we may get to hear directly from them. It's worth noting that this would be in addition to the expected appearance of a lot of the hosts, to include Carlson, Hannity, all of them. That was something that the Fox legal team, as far as the Murdochs talking, they were trying to avoid that. But it does look like that's probably going to happen. In one of the more surprising things, at least something I think people will find surprising, during this case, they will not talk about what happened on January 6th. The judge has basically said, yeah, that's not part of this. Now, for us watching it as spectators to this, doesn't make sense, because if the case is about the allegations of Fox knowingly lying and defaming and creating this atmosphere, and it leads to the 6th. The thing is, this is a civil case, not a criminal one. This is about whether or not Fox defamed Dominion. What happened on January 6th has nothing to do with that. So as weird as the judge saying that is, it's actually the right call. It keeps people focused on the matter at hand. So that's all the information coming out of that case. However, there is something kind of related to it that I'm a little worried may end up getting buried because of all of the other news going on this week. Some texts and conversations have surfaced from people that were on Trump's team, on Tucker's team, or coordinating with Tucker's team, people at Fox. And it was about bringing the pillow guy on after the inauguration, so after the 6th. And there's some real gems of quotes in there talking about the pillow guy, referring to him as off the deep end or completely crazy. There were also some expressing concern about what he might say on their air. But there were also comments about how he was one of their biggest advertisers. And it certainly appears that signaling to the pillow guy that they weren't going to desert him had a lot to do with it. This was shortly after, I think he had just been banned from Twitter or something. And just because this is something that has to do with information consumption and how the media works, I don't think this should get lost. I would hope that other news outlets would see this and draw attention to it, but you never know. So those texts and the idea that decisions related to the accuracy of what might be said on the air on Fox were heavily influenced by financial considerations. That seems like something that should be talked about. Seems like something that a lot of people should know. Anyway, It's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.